Assalamu alaikum, dear students and dear viewers. Although there's no separate topic on glands in your science textbook, I chose intentionally the glands for today to talk on because to understand hormones, uh, we must have a clear concept of glands and their types. So today we will try to comprehend the glands and their types. First of all, let's try to understand the word gland. What is this word gland all about? See, a gland is a is an organ which produces and releases substances. Substance, that means hormones. Okay, hormones are substances that perform a specific function, that perform a specific function in the body. So gland is an organ, okay, which produces and releases substances. That means these hormones, substances are actually hormones. Therefore, a gland is responsible for producing a hormone and releasing a hormone. And these hormones then they are supposed to perform a specific function in the body. Okay, and I will tell you later on what are those specific functions once we are supposed to deal with the hormones. Now, these glands, they have been classified into two types. Glands are classified into two types. The first type is called as endocrine, and next type is called as exocrine. Okay, the glands are classified into two main types, endocrine as well as exocrine. First of all, the endocrine. This endocrine gland, they are also called as ductless glands. Ductless. Ductless glands. Duct means tubeless glands. And what is the specialty of these glands? Why are they called ductless glands? Because they release their secretions, or they release the hormones simply directly into bloodstream. That means these glands, they do not require tubes, or they do not require ducts to release their secretion. Rather, what do? They directly release the substance into the blood stream without ducts. When I say ductless, it means without duct. Duct means tube simply. That means these endocrine glands, they do not stand in need of a tube to release their secretions into the blood. What do? They rather secrete. They rather release the hormones directly into the blood stream. That's why they are called as endocrine glands. And example you can give, there are so many endocrine glands in our body. For example, the pituitary gland, it's an endocrine gland. Okay, then you have a gland like thyroid gland. Then you have what we call as adrenal gland. See, this pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland, these glands are called as endocrine glands, or they are also called as ductless glands. Why? Because the specialty of these glands is that they secrete their secretions directly into the blood stream. They do not have any tubes to carry their secretions into the blood. Rather, they secrete their secretions directly into the blood. That's why they are called as endocrine glands. And example, I have quoted here pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and adrenal gland. These glands are all the examples of endocrine glands. Okay, then there is one more type which is called as exocrine gland. This exocrine gland, they are those glands. They are actually, exocrine gland is the opposite of endocrine glands. Okay, we can say the exocrine gland is the antithesis of endocrine gland. How? Because these are ductless glands, but these exocrine glands, they secrete their secretions into the blood stream through tubes, through ducts. Okay, these are those glands. Exocrine glands are those glands that secrete substances. I mean to say hormones, through ducts. Through example, you can give sweat glands. Okay, then one more is very salivary glands, which are in our mouth. Salivary glands, or you have what we call as prostate gland. In fact, there are oil glands as well. Oil glands. These glands are the examples of exocrine glands. And one more thing that I would like to share with you: there are certain glands in our body which can have both exocrine as well as endocrine function. There are some glands in our body which are both exocrine as well as endocrine. Some glands in our body are both exocrine and, for example, pancreas is one of the glands. Okay, this gland has both exocrine function as well as endocrine function. Now, when you see the exocrine function of this pancreas, you must know that this pancreas is an essential, a very important organ of our digestive system. So it not only releases hormones, but it also releases a lot of digestive juices. Okay, so as an exocrine function of pancreas. What does it do? It releases juices, or it releases juices into the ducts. For example, it releases a lot of juices through bile duct. Bile duct means the duct that carries the juices from pancreatic duct. It is the duct that carries the digestive juices from pancreas into the small intestine. Okay, so exocrine function of pancreas is that it releases juices into the duct, that is pancreatic duct, and this pancreatic duct, it opens at the envelope of water at duodenum, that is the first part of small intestines. Okay, and the endocrine function of pancreas is that it releases insulin, glucagon. These are two hormones, and what are this insulin and glucagon? They regulate the blood sugar levels. They regulate the blood sugar levels in our body. Blood sugar levels in our body. Okay, so the exocrine function of this pancreas is that it releases digestive juices into the pancreatic duct. That means to carry the digestive juices into the small intestine, it requires a tube, it requires a duct. The duct is called as pancreatic duct. But its endocrine function is what? That it also releases insulin, glucagon, two hormones, and these hormones are responsible for regulating the blood sugar level of our body. So exocrine function is the release of digestive juices into the duct, and endocrine function is the release of insulin and glucagon directly into the blood to regulate the blood sugar levels. Okay, now after you have understood this, let us try to know what are hormones. Actually, hormone is the actual topic that we are supposed to deal with. But why I told you earlier why I talked about glands first, because to understand hormones you need to have a very clear view, a very clear concept of these glands. I'm sure up till now you are very much aware about the glands and their types, and now it will be a lot easier for you people to understand Hormones. See, what are hormones? Hormones are actually chemical substances. They are actually chemical substances. Chemical substances. And these chemical substances are responsible for what? They just coordinate. They just coordinate the activities of living organisms, including human being. So when it comes to the definition of the hormones, we can define hormones as hormones are the chemical substances which coordinate the activities of living organisms, including human beings. Okay, now these hormones are actually made and secreted by glands. I told you. That's why I talked about glands. Hormones are actually, they are made, that means they are synthesized in special type of organs. We call them as glands. They are made in glands, okay, and they are then produced by glands as well. And I also talked about two types of glands, endocrine glands and exocrine glands, and I will not repeat them anymore because here we will we shall focus on hormones. Okay, so since all hormones in the body, all the hormones in our body except the sex hormones, all hormones except sex hormones, and those which are released from the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex is actually a part of the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland has so many parts, and one of the largest part of the adrenal gland is adrenal cortex. That means all hormones in our body except the sex hormones and those which are released from the adrenal cortex. They are protein. They have the protein. They are either proteins. They are either proteins or the derivatives of proteins. That means when it comes to the hormonal composition, all hormones, I am repeating what I am saying. I said all hormones except the sex hormones and hormones from adrenal cortex. They are either made up of proteins or they are derived from proteins. Okay? They are either made from proteins or they are the derivatives of proteins. Means that, for example, if you see an example of thyroid hormone, which is called as thyroxine, thyroid hormone, okay? This thyroid hormone is derived from an amino acid. Amino acid are the building blocks of proteins. It is derived from an amino acid, and the amino acid is called as tyrosine. Tyrosine, okay? This tyrosine is an amino acid, okay? This amino acid, it forms the basic composition of this hormone, this thyroid hormone. So thyroid hormone is we can say this is a protein derivative, or it is derived from a protein, and the name of the amino acid is tyrosine. Or you have another, by example, you have adrenaline. Adrenaline is hormone. It is secreted by the adrenal gland. It is also called as epinephrine. Okay, this epinephrine or adrenaline, it is derived from an amino acid called as phenylalanine. Phenylalanine, or there is one more, tyrosine. Okay. Therefore, what I am saying, whether it is a derivative of protein or protein, it is one and the same thing. Therefore, we can say majority, almost all the hormones of our body are either proteins or they are derivatives of proteins, except two: sex hormones and the hormones released from the adrenal cortex. Okay, so this is all for the day. Thank you very much.